everybody, welcome to our channel. It's me, Jen.
And my name is Stanley, and we're the Crumbs in the Philippines. I want to thank you so much for joining us and appreciate you guys watching our videos, and those of you that have subscribed, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the many, many kind words that you gave to Jen after our last video. That was very nice, and she appreciated it. I know she expressed that to me. And do you want to say thank you to everybody?
Yes, I just want to thank you for like my video, our video.
Sure.
And then I just want to thank you so much, and guys.
Okay, guys, today we're going to continue the Who Are the Crumbs in the Philippines? And today we're going to talk about me a little bit. And I'm going to try to keep it short. I've kind of mentioned a lot of these things along the way, and I'll condense it down. I'm not going to dwell on anything, and I'm not going to say any negative things about any person or persons that I have been in relationships with in the past, and marriages and so on. I don't have any desire to say anything bad about that, but I'll just briefly mention it just so that I can get a word in for my kids. I'd like to say happy birthday to my oldest son, Julius.
Happy birthday, Julius.
He turned 37 just a few days ago, and we're really proud of him. He's a family man himself, and he's doing really well. Okay, guys, I was born and raised in the northern Florida area in the Panhandle. Born in Tallahassee, and raised in a small town called Sopchoppy, which is about 33 miles to the southwest of Tallahassee and very close to the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. And Sopchoppy, it's a Seminole Indian word that means crooked river. And it had a population of about 500 the last time I was there. And it's been many, many years since I lived there, although I do go back and visit from time to time. The last time I was there, I think it's been about 7 or 8 years now since I was back there. But it's always in my heart. It's where I grew up. It's where I went to elementary school, Sopchoppy Elementary School. My parents went to high school in the same building there in Sopchoppy. And it's also known as the earthworm capital of the world. If you ever have some free time on your hands and you want to get a chuckle, just Google Sopchoppy, Florida, and one of the first things that comes up will be the Earthworm Festival. Earthworms are a big industry in Sopchoppy. And as a kid, I can remember many times we'd earn extra money we called it grunting for bait, by driving a wooden stub into the ground and rubbing a piece of metal across the wood to vibrate the ground, and the earthworms would just pop up like crazy, and we got paid a penny a piece for the worms. And then the guy would sell it for fish bait for 3 pennies. So he was still making a pretty decent profit. So I went to high school there in the same county where Sopchoppy is, Wakulla County. Wakulla High School, a lot of fond memories of those days. I played basketball, baseball, and football back at Wakulla High School. Enjoyed it very much. It's in Medark, Florida, and I haven't been back there in quite a while either. So, but it was a nice place to grow up. Very rural, not a lot of people. Everyone knew everybody, and that's pretty much it for my early childhood life. After high school, I enrolled at Florida State University, and I just was not mature enough to handle college life. I didn't last very long. I was there for only 1 year, and I was an equipment manager for the football team. Coach Bobby Bowden was the coach, and this was in the 1979 season. Florida State played in the Orange Bowl that year against Oklahoma Sooners when Billy Sims and J.C. Watts were playing for Oklahoma, and Ron Simmons and Jimmy Jordan and Wally Woodham. They were all playing for the Seminoles. We lost the Orange Bowl, but we had a really good year going 11-1. But as I stated, I just wasn't mature enough. I was not going to class. I didn't take it very seriously, and I was kind of enjoying the nightlife way more than I should have. that's just country boy getting to the city for the first time, and you know how that goes. And what I ended up doing was enrolling in the Navy. I went and took the ASVAB exam, and the recruiter asked me. He said, "You scored really well on the ASVAB. We'd like to have you take another test called the NFQT, which is the Nuclear Field Quotient Test." And I took that test and scored really high as well. And then I entered into the nuclear program for the Navy. Spent some years in the Navy aircraft carrier at the training facilities for nuclear power. A lot of overseas deployments, and first marriage occurred while I was there in the Navy, and my second. First one ended very quickly. I was married to a girl that I met in the Philippines. We were not married very long, but we did have one child, Julius, who just had his birthday. And then I met my second wife while I was in the Navy as well. But she died in 1993 in a horrific accident. She was hit by a car crossing the street in Tallahassee, Florida. So, and we had two children together, DeMarco and Anna. And after I was finished in the Navy, I spent a very short period of time there in Tallahassee, living with my parents while I got myself back together and remarried, and was married for quite a while this time. But it just didn't work out. I enjoyed those days that I spent with Pizza Hut, is where I worked for those brief years in between there. And then my ex-wife joined the military. She joined the Army right after my career ended in the Navy. And we immediately picked up and we went to Germany, where we lived for 13 years. Whenever we got to Germany, we were 4 children strong at that time. We had 2 daughters. And then my youngest child, Darian, she was born while we were living in Germany. So if she wanted to, she could claim dual citizenship. But she definitely is. She's a bright kid, and she does really well. I'm very proud of her. She was born in 1999 in Sindelfingen, Germany. And so after 13 years in Germany, we came back to the U.S. While we were in Germany is where I completed my college degree and did all of my teaching stuff and got myself certified, and got back to the state of Missouri near Fort Leonard Wood, which is an Army base where they exclusively train MPs, and just got into the local school system there in Waynesville, Missouri, and moved on to Salem, Missouri, and then finished out my teaching career in Lebanon, Missouri, and coached softball and basketball girls during my entire time in Missouri. Spent a lot of time in Germany coaching as well, softball and basketball. Some of my most enjoyable moments and that I can remember in my life occurred on the softball field and inside the gym during basketball games. Very exciting stuff, and I miss it a little bit, but I'll tell you, I'm much happier now. Towards the end of my career teaching there in Lebanon is whenever I started thinking about retirement and getting out of it, because I mentioned earlier my health was not doing that well. I could feel myself aging rapidly because of the stress that comes with working in special education in a high school and being a varsity head coach in a sport. A lot of the pressure can be self-induced, but as I mentioned earlier in the video, the parents can apply quite a bit of pressure as well. And that's whenever I met Jen, and we started talking together, and we hit it off, and we conversed online for a long time. As a matter of fact, for an entire school year, we were in contact. And there were many times when I'd be in my special ed classroom, and Jen would be watching the class through the app on the phone, on video. But she was a real trooper, and she's been very good to me, and I'm very happy that I met her. So very lucky. I mean, God has blessed me in so many ways, and I'm very grateful. And we'll talk more specifically about relationship stuff and how we met and the process of how we ended up getting married online rather than her coming to the U.S. or me coming to the Philippines, because we actually did attempt to do both of those things. And COVID just kind of put a nail in the coffin, so to speak, of those two ideas. So we ended up getting married online, but we'll describe all of that for you in a future video. But anyway, in a nutshell, that's what led me to this point. And if you guys have any questions specifically about my life or anything that I've done in the past, and I'd be more than happy to answer it. I just don't want to make an extremely long video trying to give a detailed account of everything I've done, but I've met some amazing people in my life, and my life has been very exciting, kind of nomadic, and which is why I'm really comfortable living in another culture and another country, because I've done it before, and I've been on the move since I graduated from high school. So that's pretty much it. We have several videos planned. We're going to make a video called "A Day in the Life" of the Crums in the Philippines, where mostly it's a day in Jen's life, because she's the one that washes the clothes and cooks the meals, and we're going to give you a little sample of what that's like around here. I'll be the photographer, and she'll be the star of the video. Once this weather clears up, I know I mentioned earlier that the rainy season was winding down, but that was kind of like sticking my foot in my mouth, because ever since I said that, it's rained almost every day since then. We hadn't been able to get out of the house hardly at all. But hopefully that's going to wind down so we can get out to that waterfall up in Laguna and show you. It's very beautiful. I want to share that with you. But anything, Jen, do you want to say to everybody before we wrap it up?
I just want to thank you again. Thank you for support our YouTube channel, and thank you so much for all the good comments. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
There you go. Good job. She's a very sweet lady. I promise you that. And, both of us are very appreciative, and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.
Take care. Stay healthy. Stay happy. Bye-bye.